Hello, namaste. Hello, my name's Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to share some guidance for Monday and Tuesday. That's Monday the 30th of April and Tuesday the 1st of May, the best month. Yay! How are you doing? Good morning, Trish. Lovely to see you. Extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who support my work through my website. Thank you so much for your support. You help me be able to do my work full time, and I really, really appreciate that. So thank you. Namaste, Michael. Hi, Anthon. And Mohammed's here. Hi, Rachel and Lisa. Namaste. So, the cat's climbing up into my lap, it seems. Aren't you? Can you see her? She's probably purring in the microphone. It's not me. It's not me. It's this cat named Puss who wants to get up close. So, let me grab my cards. I am going to be, beep beep, cat's tail. If you're new to watching, welcome. I'm going to be using my Speed of Light Oracle cards today, and I'll be looking for the best card for Monday the 30th of April, and the best card for Tuesday the 1st of May, and then the best card for the theme for Monday and Tuesday. I'm not doing personal requests for guidance here today. This is general guidance for everyone. So I trust that you've been led here for a reason, and I trust something shared will be helpful and supportive for you. So just take on board what feels right to you, what resonates with you, and let the rest go. I've also got my upcoming Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. There are 55 cards in this deck, and I'm going to be pulling a card from here first. So I'm going to do that. It can be like a theme, a pre-theme or something. So we'll do the card for the theme for Monday and Tuesday, like just an introduction to the theme to get the ball rolling. And then I'll pick the individual cards and then the proper theme card. So we'll do that. So these are my Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. These are just printouts that I did while I'm getting familiar with the deck and getting to basically refining their description. All the artwork's done. So this is not the size of them, and this is not the cards. I actually hope them to be around this size. So they're going to be quite a lot smaller. But this is great size for me to play with to get to know the deck. So we'll see what comes up. So we're looking for the best card for the introduction for the theme for Monday and Tuesday. And I'm going to go with this card here, which is the gorilla. The gorilla's come up a few times actually. It's funny how there's just like this 6 or 12, like a dozen or half a dozen cards that just keep coming up all the time. And this is one of them. It's the gorilla, card 9. He's pretty cool, isn't he? This was my first time drawing a gorilla, and he's pretty amusing. And his keywords here say, do the right thing. So I feel like gorilla is reminding us over Monday and Tuesday to do the right thing by ourselves and by others. So let's make sure that our actions, our words, even our thoughts are in alignment with our truth and what the right thing to do is. So let's stay authentic. Let's not pretend or lie even to other people about how we really feel. So it's important through Gorilla's message for Monday and Tuesday is to do the right thing that aligns with our truth, our truth and our values. So that's that. I am now going to find, I'm using my Speed of Light Oracle now, and I'm now going to look for the best card for Monday the 30th of April. The cat's still sitting here. She thinks I'm talking to her, I think. Monday the 30th of April. If it's not, what? Debbie says my husband a gorilla. Oh, you get me having the giggles now, Debbie. So if it's not Monday for you yet, you can think of this as guidance in advance, and we'll see what comes up. So Monday the 30th of April. Did you see the full moon over the last 24 hours? We had a bit of cloud and it sort of peeked through the cloud just a little bit before I went to bed, but it was absolutely stunning. A very powerful Scorpio full moon. People ask me, what does the full moon mean? I don't really do that sort of thing. I always base everything, even when I'm pulling cards, around how I feel at the time. So I can feel power in the full moon. I don't have a big long description I can reel off. I'm not an astrologer. I'm not a moon expert. I just go along with my life and my days as best as I can. So, Monday the 30th of April is this. Oh, we've got White Tiger, a featured card. So this has further instructions here, which I am going to follow, that say to split the deck and take the top card. So I'm splitting the deck and grabbing this card, another featured card. So we're going to follow this. It says draw the top card from the deck. Now this is a prime example of the reason why I keep my split deck separate, because I'm going to put this back on top and grab the top card here for the Cobra. And look at that, expanded love, which came up in the last video reading that I did. So let's work these things out and get them together. These are the cards for Monday. So what I'm going to do is look at these cards separately, and then I'm going to look at their relationship together. So we're going to start with the first card that I pulled, which is called White Tiger, card 48. And it says schedule, routine, adjustment and management. This talks about really looking at how we're spending our time on Monday, but also how we're spending our time right now. Because we're changing so much, our life is changing, our priorities change. And we may be inspired, or we may be noticing that our schedule's shifting, our priorities are changing, and we have to make a few adjustments now. So this is especially important for Monday. It could be Monday itself, but in general right now, is really looking at how we're spending our time. Especially if we've been getting overwhelmed, we might be needing to step back and really look at the things that we're doing in our life and the time that we're spending on certain tasks and doing certain things. And can we make an adjustment to our schedule and our routine that better matches up with the person that we've become? Interesting. Talked a bit about that last reading, didn't I? And this is the Cobra Bite, card 9. And it says sting, shock, truth and illusion. This brings an element of surprise or shock, something that might take us by surprise on Monday. This may be seen in the positive sense, it may be seen in more of a negative sense. But whatever it might be, this is not information that I don't want to generate any fear here or have you worry about what Monday might bring. I've seen this card come up quite a lot of times in the positive sense, where people we haven't spoken to for years suddenly make an appearance, or something happens out of the blue or by surprise. So whatever happens on Monday, and if this relates to you as an individual, whatever it is to help us align, or help you align further with the truth of who you are. So your core truth, your core values, which a lot of us are, what would you say, or what would I say? Re-establishing our core truth, our core values. We're getting more familiar with our core truth and values. We're understanding our truth and our values more deeply, more intimately. As things have been revealed over this last week especially, that have kind of revealed negative parts of ourselves, negative traits that we might carry, and things that are just being kind of compounded, I guess, at this time, have forced a lot of us to really look closely at our truth and who we are. So whatever it is that happens and might take us by surprise on Monday is to help further align us with our truth and our values. And for me personally, I find my truth and my values extremely important because it helps me, I like to say, turn my inner truth detector on, and I weigh things up that I observe or that's going on in my day-to-day life against my inner truth detector. I also weigh up, what I'm saying, what I'm doing based on my truth and my values, and make sure that what I'm saying and what I'm expressing and what I'm doing in my life matches up with my truth and my values. And that is a really important part of who I am. So that's how I guess a little bit about how I value my truth and my values. And perhaps they're becoming more important to you as well. So the cobra, there's a lot of snake energy around at the moment, a lot of serpent energy as we're stripping back a lot of our old skin and allowing our new youthful skin to shine through from underneath. So there's a lot of shedding that we're doing, a lot of releasing, and lots of kind of rebirthing at this time. So that also brings me in connection with this snake or this serpent energy. And then the other card that came up for Monday is Expanded Love, card 24. And it says, the keywords say productivity, teamwork, and holding space. So this is holding ourselves and perhaps with others in a space of love, of common interest, but I want to say especially of truth, of authenticity. And it doesn't mean that everyone should believe the truth that we have. It's more about, for me, it's about me being clear about my truth, standing tall in it, and just being it in my interactions and my things that I do every day. I'm never, as best as I can and to my best knowledge, I'm not trying to preach or push my truth and my values onto anyone else. I feel a big part of being comfortable in our truth is also being comfortable to allow others to be in their truth, and to be a living and breathing example of the truth that's important to us, and letting other people be the truth that's important to them, without trying to force and fight with each other to believe what I believe because I'm right and you're wrong. That to me is not truth. That's more of a belief, because we will defend our beliefs. We will carve them in stone and probably think that that's the only way. Truths to me evolve. They grow with us as individuals as we grow and evolve. So as we stand together, as we stand as individuals and or together in our truth, we are expanding the love, the truth of who we are and what we value as important in our lives and in life. So how can we hold truer to ourselves in all of our interactions? It's a bit like that gorilla card that came up as our theme, to do the right thing by ourselves, based on our truth, and by others, based on our values and what's ethical, what's important to us. So there's certainly a theme coming through here. Let's look at these three cards together. I'll get these things out. I feel that we're being encouraged to make truth and our values, or whatever words you'd like to use, a priority for us in our life at this time, but especially on Monday. That our truth and love of life can shine through, and that we need to make time for this in our schedule. Do we need to make time for this? Is this something we have to set time aside for? Perhaps for you it might be. For me it isn't, because for me I feel that I don't want to allow time for my truth or my spiritual interests or the things that are important to me. Well, yeah, I do want to allow time for the things that are important to me, I guess, from that perspective. But I want to live my truth. I want to speak it all the time. I want to be it. I want to radiate it. I don't want to force it. I just want to be it. I want to shine it in anything and everything that I do. So I don't need to make time for that, because it is in everything that I interweave into my day. But perhaps when I think about this, maybe it's also about making time for what's important to us and really looking at our schedule and our routine and start putting time aside for the things that are important to us, that make our heart sing, whether it's a hobby or developing a skill or a talent or meditation or some time in nature or just doing nothing, just reading, sitting and reading. How many times in the day or in the week or in the month do we get to actually stop and sit and read? I know for me, I don't really have a lot of time for that, but at the same time, it's not really a top priority for me either. I've got more exciting things to do than sit and read, although it is nice to do sometimes, but perhaps that's a priority for you that you haven't really had time for lately. So I feel we're going to be reflecting on these sorts of things over Monday. So that's Monday's guidance. Feels very long-winded, but we're now going into a new month, aren't we? Into May, so Tuesday, the 1st of May. And, you know, every month I reflect on the month that's been. I reflect on my work that I've done. I also revive things, shift things if they are required, and start the new month with a new focal word or new that I'm stepping into. But I've actually started stepping into my May intention as of yesterday, the 29th of April. So, you know, let's be careful that we're not putting things off and setting things to a certain date, like the 1st of May, if we want to start something new. Let's start now if we feel inspired to, even if we're a day or two away from that date. If we're inspired to do it and we have time to do it, let's invest or let's do it. That's what I feel. Well, that's what I do. If it inspires you, please do. I certainly don't want to sit here telling you what to do. So I'm looking for the best card now for the 1st of May, Tuesday the 1st. And I trust the best card that's the most helpful for the majority of us will find its way to the top, which will be this card here. We've got card 38 called Focus. And the keywords say holding position, timing and growth. This says that we've walked our path that's led us to this moment, this point in our life right now, but especially on Tuesday. But right now, when we're connecting with this, most likely. So we know our motives, we know our reasons why we made certain decisions and why we did certain things that have led us to this point. So this card's just on one hand reminding us to be careful of naysayers or people that don't really get our position right now or don't really get our motives or reasons for change or reasons why we are doing something or aren't doing something. We don't have to explain ourselves. So let's hold true in our heart. When we're holding strong in our truth, we will not need to explain ourselves or justify our actions. We don't have to have reasons or to explain such things. So as we get stronger in our truth, which is what I've been talking about, not only earlier in this video, but in previous videos, as we get stronger in our truth and our core values, we will become stronger in the position that we stand right now. See how determined and focused this figure is? As it holds space, it holds position, it trusts in perfect timing, it trusts in itself as we're inspired to trust in ourselves. There's a lot of growth, there's vines here growing out of different parts of this figure's body as we stand and hold our position and grow and evolve. So let's trust in perfect timing, let's trust in our truth. And let's listen to the truth that we hold inside our heart, inside ourselves. It's always good, I find, to question our truth from time to time. And there might be things that come up in life that kind of trigger us to question our truth or our values. So we can become stronger in that particular truth, or we can adjust it a little bit, or we can let it go if it doesn't serve us any longer. Just because it's our truth today and in this moment doesn't mean it's going to be our truth or our value forever. So if we can hold strong in the truths and the values that feel right now, and then also let them evolve, then that may be of benefit to our being. So let's trust, let's focus, let's hold true to ourselves and hold true to our values and what's important to us as we hold position, trust in perfect timing, and grow from our current position. This is a powerful time. If you're not feeling it quite yet, I recommend that you perhaps do a bit of releasing. If you still feel a bit caught up in the self-criticism and the illusion that's been playing out in the last few weeks, I really recommend you spending some time releasing. Some ways you might do that might be to write down all of the negative traits, negative issues, wounds, issues in general, wounds, fear, insecurities that you've been noticing lately. Write them all down on a separate piece of paper. And as you write them down, really feel them being poured out of your body as you let them go. And then you can take that piece of paper. On the weekend when I had my piece of paper, I ripped it into strips. Just very gently, I found a nice spot in a bay with some rocks, and I just let my water soak up. I let my paper soak up into the water, and just imagine that energy, all that stuff that I wrote down, just letting go and being released from my being. You may like to burn your paper or throw it off a cliff if you have a cliff nearby. Throw it in the rubbish. Whatever you need to do to get that out and release it in a safe way. So as you release, as you take responsibility for how you feel and you're really honest about it, and you take those sorts of steps to release, you don't have to do that. There's many, many different ways you can release. So whatever works for you. Then you free yourself up, and there's this beautiful, quite strong, new, passionate, driving, phoenix-like energy that's moving through very quickly. And a lot of us are starting to replace that self-criticism, illusion energy with a really strong surge of motivation and drive and passion. So if you're not quite feeling that yet, perhaps just go back and do some releasing on the stuff that you're stagnant with right now, so that you can shift that and move into that rebirthing kind of space, that awakening energy that's reviving a lot of us at this time. Of course, if you're really struggling with something that's really affecting you, like loss or grief, or something going on with your body, sometimes all you can do is get through your day. So just be gentle with yourself as you nurture yourself through your day, and sending you lots of love if you are struggling at this time. So I am now looking for the best card for the theme for Monday and Tuesday. This will help bring these days together and help us see the bigger picture for Monday and Tuesday as we transition into a new month. And as we transition from that beautiful full moon. So we're going to go with this card here. Jellyfish, card 55. This is the last card in the deck, so this automatically talks about endings and tying up loose ends over Monday and Tuesday. The key words here say vulnerable, flow, sensitive, and protection. So like the jellyfish, we're being reminded to flow with the currents and the movements in the oceans or in the waters, in the flow, in the river of our own personal lives and what we are facing and dealing with from moment to moment. So let's move with that ebb and flow as we're inspired to, or sometimes as we're forced to. Sometimes we don't have a choice. If we're going full stream, if we're going full on down a bunch of rapids in our life, we've just got to put our feet up, probably close our eyes and just go with it. So sometimes that happens in our flow. Other times we do have a bit of a choice and we can move with that ebb and flow and choose the different parts of the current that we ride. So Monday and Tuesday is especially important for going with the flow. and also trusting and knowing that we are safe and protected. There's a sense of vulnerability, of sensitivity with this card. So we may have moments of feeling fragile or feeling vulnerable or sensitive. That to me is not a bad thing. I actually welcome those feelings. I find it takes a lot of courage to be vulnerable and to let ourselves be and experience vulnerability. So if you have moments of feeling vulnerable, see if you can accept it a little bit more than you used to. Sometimes we have this tendency to reject our feelings of sensitivity, of being fragile or vulnerable, when it is a part of who we are. I've found personally, the more I accept my vulnerable spaces, the more that energy flows to the next feeling. So if part of your flow and your movement over Monday and Tuesday is feeling fragile and raw and vulnerable, welcome that feeling. See if you can accept it and see where that depth of feeling takes you. It is a beautiful space to be in, as uncomfortable as it might be, because it carries us into raw feeling. It almost like it carries us from a river into the wide open ocean and to new depths that we can experience and dive into within ourselves. So as we open up more to ourselves and our truth, and we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we drop into new depths of ourselves. So remind yourself that you're loved and supported, and see if you can perhaps bring more acceptance into your sensitive, emotional times. Remember, your emotions just want to move, so let your feeling move to the next feeling. It wants to be in motion. So if you feel vulnerable, be honest about it, accept it, and that vulnerability will flow to the next feeling. The more you reject feelings like vulnerability or even anger, the louder it's going to become. So interesting, strong energy around at this time, as a lot of us are on the cusp of shifting illusion and moving into this powerful, passionate time. So I trust this guidance has helped and makes sense to you. Remember, just take on board what feels right or felt right for you. Just let the rest go if it doesn't make sense to you. I've used my Speed of Light Oracle cards today. These are available on my website. If you want to learn more about them, please have a look on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. I'm continuing to fine-tune these new cards I'm working on, the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards, and I'm doing a lot of that fine-tuning in my Temple of Balance closed Facebook group. If you're not a part of it, please request to join. I've been doing a lot of refining of this deck over the last few months, and I'm going to continue to. So if you want the opportunity to probably have a reading with them, then please like or request to join my new page. They're scheduled for release and still on schedule for September this year, and pre-orders should open around the 1st of July. So I will let you know, but I'm very much on track for those timing things. So just continuing to refine the deck and play with them and do lots of readings with them at this time. So thank you. We have our online drumming circle for May happening on Wednesday. That's Wednesday morning Australian time. If you want to join me or learn more about it, please have a look on my website. I'll also be in Hobart. If you're in the Hobart area, I'll be at the New Age Festival, which is happening on the 19th and the 20th of May at Lenna Valley Community Hall. I'm not sure when it starts, but I will be doing spirit guide drawings. I'll have all of my books and card decks, and we can have a chat. I'll have some ceramics, but I will be doing drawings live there, which I don't do very often. So I'm looking forward to that. If you're in the area or want to pre-book a time or a spot, just let me know. Or if you're in the area at the time, please stop by and say hello. I'd love to meet you if you're in Hobart or coming to Hobart that weekend. I might do another video later. I'm actually No, well, we'll just see. I'll surprise you if I do. If you want to learn more about the work I do, please visit my website at templeofbalance.com.au. I've got heaps of resources on there that you might find helpful and supportive for you. So please take a look. Also, when you purchase on my website, you do support my work, which helps me be able to do these sorts of videos. So thank you for your support, and thank you for helping me support other people. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you'd like to connect more privately, just send us a message through our website. I'll be back again to share with you soon. Maybe for a surprise later. I'm kind of feeling I will. So you never know. I might do a drawing live video later. We'll see. So I'll chat with you again soon. Have a fantastic couple of days, and sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. Namaste. Namaste means that the divine, the creator within me, honours and acknowledges the divine, the creator within you, that we are equal, that we are one. Thank you so much. Namaste. Thank you.